Hey, what's up guys, aarava here and welcome back to another episode of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode. This is episode number 85 today for the Mexican Grand Prix in Season 5. If you guys did miss the previous episode at the Canadian Grand Prix, then definitely be sure to go check that one out before you see this one, as it was a biblical race win battle that went all the way down to the last lap, the last corner, with our teammate Teo Porcher having done the final engine development hurdle upgrade, you know, with this custom-made build your own engine mod we brought in 2 seasons ago. We found that extra bit of pace to help us, but of course Tsunoda did the damage limitation race. The top 3 in the championship were the 3 of us who are top in the standings. So it was really showing why us 3 are up there fighting for this title, as us 3 have been the most consistent drivers. But Tsunoda still leads the way. But now myself and Teo Porcher are breathing down the neck of the Japanese driver in the Aston Martin Honda. And Porcher really stepped up, and it's fair play. It was a bit bitter to be beaten by him. I really tried my hardest, but he was just that little bit quicker. And to be honest, we haven't seen a Porcher like that maybe since the very start of the season. You know, raw pace, raw speed, you know, getting those fast laps in early, you know, relentless in terms of attacking me at the end, and we just didn't have enough to get across the line from what was pole position, obviously. So even more, you know, annoying for me, to be honest, because we were on pole, we were quicker over 1 lap, but then in the race, he just found that extra little bit. But it is what it is. But we're now very much in crunch time, as we're going into the final 3 episodes of this season, and we come to Mexico, and there's already going to be a bit of drama, you know, because it's raining here for Saturday, so that always adds just that little bit of spice onto things. I think it may dry up later on into the same day, but we start Q1 then with it bucketing it down. It was almost maybe full wet at the start of this Q1 session, but we are here, as you can see on the top right, at the end of Q1. We've not even set a lap time yet, because I just knew, looking at the forecast, it's worth waiting a little bit, because the track is going to evolve lap after lap, minute by minute through this Q1 session, as we go from pretty much full wets, like I thought, to intermediates, to, you know, just better intermediate conditions. Because already on the second lap, even though I'm drifting it through as we lock the rear axle there at the end of sector 1 with the back end stepping out, we're still finding time as we just get more confident on the throttle, and that's a combo of us getting more used to conditions on the second lap, but also it's because the track is actually physically getting better and better as the rain starts to slow down. We go top. I was pretty darn happy with that. 5 tenths ahead of Lando Norris. And then look at this. Look at these results. This is how much the track evolved. I was half a second up on P2, and it was pretty much only a couple, you know, half a minute to go or something like that. I couldn't go again, basically, because I had no fuel. But everyone else did 1 more lap, and the track evolved so much that I ended up 8 tenths off P1. Crazy. I'm actually quite lucky. I could have easily been knocked out, just like Lando Norris has been caught out. Oscar Piastri has been caught out. 2 big names caught out and all of that. Because, yeah, on this game especially, the evolution of the track I found with wet conditions especially is really quite something. Really quite something. That kind of, you know, simulation when you go to the results screen is pretty bonkers sometimes. But we're now into Q2, which was completely uncharted territory because it was bone dry, overcast still, and the track is obviously very green, which that by I mean, you know, obviously the water has washed away any grip from practice, so the track has no rubber laid down. We're laying that rubber down right now, basically, so not really sure where we're going to be in all of this, but at the moment it's going well because Tsunoda was top. We go quickest of all, and in the end of it, we are going to stay quickest of all by just a tiny margin of 0.038 to Teo Porcher. It's a 1-2. That's a bit ominous for everyone else. Both Aston Martin through, Ferraris, Audis, and Mercedes. As you say, Haas have definitely dropped off a little bit in terms of pure performance. I think one of the Williams there was in P12, so the Williams might go okay in race conditions, as we have seen that obviously just off the back of Canada. Last episode, it was a double points finish for the Williams team, so we'll see how they go come Sunday. But now all our attention is on this top 10 shootout. This is our first flying lap, and it's just a banker one, to be honest. It wasn't an amazing lap. I knew it wasn't an amazing lap, but this is it now. We're at the 2-minute mark nearly of qualifying, and we're on our final run on a brand spanking new set of soft tyres. We've got enough fuel for 2 consecutive laps. That second lap's going to have the lower fuel load, so maybe that might be the better one, but we're already 3 tenths to maybe 4 tenths up as we go through to the end of Sector 1, but Sector 3 has been really poor for me the whole time, really. In the wet in Q2, we've been losing time there. We're purple in the second sector, but we've lost all that time in the last sector, and we only go up to P4. I say only, but, you know, P4 is still pretty okay, but I wanted to see if we could try and maybe get onto the front row, and oh, it's a howler. Oh, it's a big howler. The rear end stepped out. That was the rear locking as we went far too late on the brakes, and we've ruined that second flyer. Oh, what? What? That track evolution is crazy. We are 1 second off pole position, which is our teammate Théo Pourchaire. Unbelievable. From 0.038 between us to 1 second. Mad. I know we didn't put in a great lap, but that's still crazy. So our teammate, off the back of his 3rd win of the season on pole, that's a little bit worrying, because we know from the start of the season how much, you know, solace he took in momentum from getting that first win to make it back-to-back wins. We've got an interesting grid, though, with the 2 Ferraris up there. Tsunoda's done all right in P6. For us, we've got the most work to do from P10. God, let's go to the grid.
Bienvenidos to the most populous city in North America. The legendary Jim Clark won the first official F1 race back in 1963 here, and we've had a veritable who's who of winners ever since. It's Mexico City, and therefore the Mexico City Grand Prix. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right, and the remaining 7 going to the left. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Théo Pourchaire lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Gasly, Bottas, Joe, the owner driver, Drugovich, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Fittipaldi, Albon, Liam Lawson, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Norris, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So a little bit further down the order in qualifying than we would like, potentially. Our teammate is on pole position. This all seems very familiar to the start of the season, but we are now in the 3rd last round, and we have got it all to do if we want to try and continue to bridge the gap to Tsunoda in the championship and stay ahead of Pourchaire as well at the same time, because both of us are chasing Tsunoda, of course, but now Pourchaire has a great opportunity to maybe leapfrog both of us in one go. Let's hope not. I am kind of backing myself to try and come through. This circuit should be very decent to overtake at with a long main straight. Higher wear is going to maybe be an issue. We've started on the softs though, because we had a new set of softs from yesterday to use. A few other people are doing that as well, but lots of others also on medium, so gonna have to see how that goes. I'm hoping this will pay dividends here, at least at the race start, as we go to 5 red lights. It's the Mexican Grand Prix, 3 rounds to go, lights out, and we're underway. It's a slow, sluggish start for Tsunoda, Leclerc, Gasly as well as the pole sitter, Pourchaire, because it's Carlos Sainz in the lead. There's a lot of movement going on down this long run to turn 1. Sainz leads the way, Pourchaire second, Bottas narrowly avoiding contact with the Frenchman. He's actually going to try and go for it though. Pourchaire may find himself down to 3rd place. No, he won't. Bottas has to slot in behind for 3rd place. Zhou Guanyu up to P4. We're up to P5, so we've made 5 overtakes in one straight there, which is very decent for... Oh, wow, we've been hit. We've been hit. Verstappen, I think that was. Verstappen just hit us as he went down the inside. We were... Well, I thought, you know, I could shut the door fine because I didn't think he was there, but clearly he was, because there was a definite love tap from the Ferrari, and now that's offset us, and Tsunoda has managed to wrangle his way through into P6. So it's gone from looking like a really good start to pretty mediocre, actually, thanks to Verstappen there. In Canada, he was super aggressive, remember? And now Gasly's coming in, our old nemesis from last season. He's dived it down the inside. We had to take some avoiding action there. What is going on? Honestly, ever since that Belgium Grand Prix, some of these AI, they're getting a bit too big for their boots. They honestly really do just go for it, knowing that I am going to take the higher road and avoid contact here, especially in this stage of the season where it's all about trying to stay in the fight. But yeah, that was a pretty messy start for many. I mean, you know, we had a Ferrari there in 2nd place, which I think was Verstappen, was it not? Because I think Russell actually had a penalty on the grid. So Sainz with a great getaway. Pourchaire just did not get off the line from pole position. And yeah, Zhou Guanyu, Bottas got a good start. It was Verstappen with a really bad start as well. Probably worse than Pourchaire from 2nd. He lost 3-4 positions, then obviously came back at us. But Russell, who was meant to be there at the sharp end, actually wasn't, because he had a grid penalty then, it seems. But yeah, Carlos Sainz then leading the way for Audi. Pourchaire, 2nd place for Lamborghini. They're in a world of their own as they're 3.6 seconds ahead of Zhou Guanyu, who's done an amazing job there in the Aston Martin, it must be said. As there goes Pourchaire though, it seems a little bit inevitable. Ever since we brought in that engine upgrade last episode, this Lamborghini has come alive. We found a new gear in performance, obviously, and we waited for the right opportunity to deploy it, and it seems like it has been the right time. At least for Pourchaire at the moment. Obviously for me, I've still got work to do, but for Pourchaire it's working wonders, which is a little bit annoying for me, but obviously we're going to benefit from that upgrade as well, trying to make our way through. But at the moment, Zhou Guanyu is a bit of a bottleneck potentially as he holds up Valtteri Bottas there for 3rd place. Verstappen, Tsunoda, myself close behind. We're actually trying to catch Tsunoda a little bit napping on the double right-hander, but it doesn't work out for us. But you know, Zhou Guanyu's done really well, but he clearly is not actually as quick as his position suggests, and we're all just trying to overtake him, basically. That is helping me staying in this fight with Tsunoda, because I'm telling you right now, this circuit feels so bad at the moment with maxed out cars. I don't know what it is. I think it might just be the higher levels of downforce or something, but the cars just slide about to no end. I almost liken it to a slip and slide. It's literally the slip and slide Mexico Grand Prix, because even the AI seem very slippery around here, like the rear ends wagging about. You saw there as we're watching and focusing on this battle where Bottas has got up to 3rd place. Zhou Guanyu fends off Verstappen. I had to fend off Gasly. You may have seen on the ladder as the names were moving about. I actually was trying to attack Tsunoda, but I actually had to do some defensive work on Gasly because I'm struggling. I am really struggling for pace. It may also be the dirty air behind these guys, but I'm actually quite thankful for, Zhou Guanyu was holding us all up because it kept me within DRS of Tsunoda, and now we're watching Tsunoda having a real good go at Verstappen. The two of them make contact. We lose the back end as we also rub our tyre on Tsunoda's tyre, and that kind of offsets us, and for a moment Gasly again is trying to overtake us. That's 3 times Gasly's tried to overtake us and kind of annoyed us. We're busy trying to focus on our championship rival, and Gasly just keeps coming back at us like, I'm still here from last season. I'm going to annoy you even though I'm not in the title fight, as there's plenty of action going on behind. Leclerc getting overtaken by Mick Schumacher in the Williams. Leclerc not having the best time in the Silver Arrow. Albon looking for the overtake in the McLaren. We haven't seen too much of the McLarens all season long as they continue to really struggle for pace, and the Red Bull Fords are joining them today as well. I mean, Red Bull have had some decent races this season to actually try and recover, but this is one of those races where, again, those two usual suspects of old seasons, Red Bull and McLaren, they're really nowhere, and it's a new age of F1 here. It's Audi versus Lamborghini quite directly, because Sainz is actually coming back at Pourchaire. I thought he was going to pull away, Pourchaire was, but fair play to Sainz for actually giving it a go. He was unsuccessful, but he tried it, and he's going to try it again on lap 11. He pulls out, but Pourchaire again coming in for the defense, but Sainz really aggressive as he tries to maybe almost scare Pourchaire off the road with a bit of a vicious move into turn 1 in the brake zone, and he's actually pulled it round the outside, and the Audi leads the way here in Mexico. But Pourchaire is on the back of him, and the Audi, big lock up from Sainz, big lock up, and now Pourchaire can swing it round the outside. This is incredible, as they're now going to be side by side through the double right-hander in that, huge complex where there's such a massive grandstand. This is amazing stuff for them to witness as Pourchaire gets back into first place. That is a mega battle. That almost rivals the battle me and Pourchaire had last episode. Speaking of battles, we're still watching Tsunoda and Verstappen have a go at each other. For the AI, certainly, it's been a cracking race so far. We're kind of just getting frustrated not being involved, but we might be able to finally attack some cars here and move up from P7 as we close in on Verstappen. He's got the toe on Tsunoda. I've got the double toe. We go to the left, tyre on the grass, but we've made it work. It's the double overtake on Verstappen, on Tsunoda to get up into P5. Gasly's also attacking them in the background, and Tsunoda all of a sudden has lost 3 positions maybe, but he's back up to P6 now on lap 13, and there's a car off. It's Valtteri Bottas. Bad day in the office overall for the Silver Arrows. Bottas out of the Grand Prix. Leclerc way down the order. That is not what they would like, but meanwhile, we're too busy watching Tsunoda, one of our championship rivals, go round the outside of us. We get the elbow out to squeeze him out as we try and maintain this P4, but this is desperation of defending, basically, because I know he's quicker, and to that point, I'm actually going to call it a bit early and come into the pits, because you can see how little grip I have out there. So little grip that I nearly break my car going into the pit lane entry. I'm actually quite a lucky boy, because that could have been a DNF if I'd locked up any longer into the pit lane entry. Yeah, unbelievable. I literally, like I said earlier, the best way I can describe it is it honestly felt like I was driving a slip and slide, like there was water on circuit, because there was just no grip. Either the front end wasn't responding and turning in, or when the tyre wear started to kick in, the rear end, I just couldn't get traction, or the rear axle was constantly locking, and I was actually, you wouldn't have seen it in these highlights, but in between these highlight clips, I've been moving my brake bias, moving my differential to make it more open, more locked, moving the brake bias front to rear, and nothing I'm doing is helping. Nothing. Apart from this little bit of the race where basically the hard compound is saving me here and giving us some performance as we overtake Tsunoda, who's coming out the pits there, and by lap 17, obviously with the undercut I've actually ended up in a pretty decent position. We're P7 with 5 seconds ahead of Tsunoda, a further second ahead of Verstappen. I think Zhou Guanyu is pitting now, you can see on the mini-map. Pourchaire is up the road. We're actually catching Magnussen very quickly, and actually annoyingly the Williams holds me up by a good couple of tenths here as him and Ricciardo in. We've got a Haas in as well, so we're going to be up to, well, should be P3 actually, because we are going to overtake Zhou Guanyu. So the undercuts actually worked wonders for us. It's got us way ahead of Tsunoda. It's made us jump Zhou Guanyu. Tsunoda is tucking in behind his teammate, P5. Verstappen's just been overtaken by Gasly. And Mick Schumacher in the Williams, of all people, is not too far away. You know, Mick Schumacher slowly has actually come into this top 10 fight properly there. He's only, you know, 3/10 off Verstappen. Leclerc's actually not doing too badly as well. He's recovered from that nasty situation he was in. He's actually in the points now, but Porsche leads the way still. 3.6 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz. We are 2.8 behind the Spaniard, but on these hards, at the moment, whilst they're not facing any tyre wear, are working well for us. So I'm hoping we can try and bridge the gap to Sainz. That would be a massive recovery and a miracle if we could recover to P2, considering how awful I felt in this race. As meanwhile, Yuki Tsunoda also doing a bit of recovery work as he overtakes his teammate, but his teammate will actually come back at him and frustrate him. So this is a weird dynamic, you know. Obviously, Leclerc left Aston Martin, you know, after not doing too well. Zhou Guanyu settled in really well, but it's a bit too well right now because, honestly, Zhou Guanyu needs to give Tsunoda the position. Tsunoda should really be the man finishing ahead, but it looks like there are no team orders going on, and Aston Martin, as per the game, there are no such things as team orders. It's really something I wish they would put into the game eventually. But anyway, progress has been made, and lap 24, quite a few laps later, we have finally bridged that gap to the Audi, and we're going for the move for P2. Sainz does very well though to fight me. You saw he was actually still side by side with me through turns 1 and the next turn there through the chicane, from right to left to right. But we do get up into P2 as we see again Zhou and Tsunoda once again swapping, being side by side, and Tsunoda is still looking to make that move. Ooh, it gets very close there. You know what? I thought for a second Tsunoda was about to break his front wing on Zhou Guanyu. That would have been an absolute howler of a moment there for the two Aston Martin cars, but they're fine, but Zhou Guanyu is, well, now he's actually going on to overtake Carlos Sainz. So this is honestly, it must be very frustrating for Tsunoda to be watching his newer teammate just, you know, doing what he needs to do. He needs to be up there in P3 to try and match what happened in Canada. You know, that could actually be a scenario where it's Porsche, myself, and Tsunoda, again, just like in Canada. But at the moment, Zhou Guanyu looks like the Aston Martin to be up there as he gets up into 3rd place. The Chinese driver doing a madness. He's really settled into Aston Martin very quickly. And Leclerc, well, he left Aston Martin for Mercedes. It did seem to be the better option initially, but now really you're thinking Leclerc's made a mistake there. He should have stuck with Aston Martin, but maybe he just saw that they were building the team around Tsunoda with the Honda power unit, of course. Makes sense. But yeah, as we go on through this stint though, the good times on the hard tyres, they've ended because the tyre wear's come in and we're back to a slip and slide, especially in Sector 3, just not really finding that grip, you know, through that last corner. The AI are so good on traction. It's an absolute joke. And Zhou Guanyu, having overtaken Sainz, immediately was released from the shackles of that Audi and just immediately caught up to me. He's overtaken it, so we're going to try and play this clever as we try and swing round for the better momentum. You know, all those corners I was braking earlier than I needed to try and get the tighter line to get the exit. And it may just work for us here as we're going to pull out to the outside. Zhou defending very well, inches away from making contact on the left. Great racing. We get the hard shoulder out and we get back up into P2, but he comes knocking again on lap 29, this time down the inside here. He's actually going to cut the curb and pretty much cut the entire corner, and somehow that's not an illegal overtake, even though Porsche, my teammate, got a penalty, a 5-second one, for cutting the bus stop, remember, in the exact same way. So little bit fishy FIA. It's almost like you have something against Lamborghini or myself and Porsche, maybe, I don't know. But Zhou Guanyu gets the position, but we are going to come ferociously back at him with the DRS and the ERS to get back into 2nd place. But he's just all over us immediately into turn 1 because he's actually just really, really decent. He's also on the hards as well, so me and him have got the same sort of tyre wear. Right now, the medium tyre runners should be starting to really feel that wear, but tell that to Mick Schumacher, because he's actually going on to now be trying to overtake Tsunoda. This is big for me. This is big for Porsche. Tsunoda pushed down to P6 by Mick Schumacher. Tsunoda is going to lose a lot of points in this race to Porsche and myself. This could be a massive leapfrog for Porsche in the championship as we continue to watch the battle going on with Zhou Guanyu, but this time it's with Carlos Sainz because the Audi is coming. Oh no, there was some damage there. Oh, Zhou Guanyu's got damage. He's got damage. He's going to have to pit. He's pit. So Tsunoda, ironically, gets elevated one position because his teammate's broken his front wing. That's unfortunate, and he broke it on Carlos Sainz, who was quite aggressive with that move, and him and Schumacher are defying the medium tyre. They're finding more pace than I am now, and more pace than Zhou Guanyu was. Look at that! Look at that massive amount of oversteer. I almost lose it completely and spin it into the wall there. As we do carry on coming back at Sainz, we do have DRS. This is really the only reason I am coming back at Sainz, though, is the DRS. As soon as he breaks that, we're screwed. So we need to make sure we make life difficult for him, but we're making life difficult for ourselves. What did I say? What did I say about slip and slide? That was literally... Oh, I was opposite lock into turn 1, into turn 2, and then into turn 3 somehow. I think we actually even made some contact with Sainz because I was sliding about so much. So he must be thinking, what on earth is going on with this Lamborghini car? But honestly, I have the harder compound, and I feel like I have more tyre wear than these medium tyre runners. It's been a nightmare, this entire race. The start of the hard tyre stint masked the problem, but oh my god, now it's a huge one. Really, really not good there. We've bottled it. We've absolutely bottled it. Into turn 1, I was trying to brake way too late to defend Sainz, and instead we've actually just given him the position, basically, by losing the back end. And now Mick Schumacher is attacking us. We're going to have to get the elbow out, but unbelievable. The Williams has done so well there. Schumacher could have been on for a podium, but we're going to hold on, I think, to P3, thankfully. But we've lost P2. We've lost the 1-2, which is kind of annoying for a team's sake, and we've lost second place. So Porsche will gain even more points on us as he wins a second race in a row for the second time. He's won 4 races this season, and that's his second back-to-back one of those. He really is a driver that really does well on form, you can tell, because as soon as he made those mistakes in the middle of the season, he made more mistakes. As soon as he gets a win here, he gets another win. And this is worrying. He's come good again at the right time for him, at the wrong time for me. What a torturous Mexican Grand Prix that was. Wow. Oh.
Well done, mate. Well done. That's a great finish. You've really stepped up and achieved what we asked you to do today, so good job. It's victory in Mexico then. And what a victory it is after an incredible Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
So it may be a really great day in the office for the team. You know, it's a 1-3, maybe not quite a 1-2, but it's not such a great day for Yuki Tsunoda and myself in the Drivers' Championship. Once again, that man, that Frenchman, Théo Pourchaire, leads the way in the Drivers' Championship. He was leading for so long after those first 2 wins of the season, and now he's retaken the lead with 2 wins in a row. Seems pretty fitting, and it's at the right time for him. 2 races to go. It is game on. We need to buck up. Tsunoda needs to buck up. It's really going to go down to the wire. Guys, if you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.